Hello, and welcome to Piano Player Pro, your favourite classical tunes arranged for piano. Today, we're going to be playing the main theme from Swan Lake by Tchaikovsky. The ballet was first performed in Moscow in 1877, when it was widely thought to be an utter failure. The critics hated it. The dancing, the set, the costume, and most of all Tchaikovsky's music, which was roundly dismissed and described by one as being too noisy. Fortunately for us, it was revived, but sadly only after Tchaikovsky's death. If you haven't already, then follow the link below and head over to the website pianoplayerpro.com, where you can find the sheet music, which is free to download. And while you're there, make sure you check out what other pieces you can learn. I'm regularly adding new pieces and content, so if you find this video helpful, then please hit the subscribe button below. In total, there are 4 piano arrangements of Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake for you to choose from, starting with level 1 and then getting progressively more difficult all the way up to level 4. This video is for the level 3 version, but feel free to take a look at the others. So we're going to get started by me playing the whole tune all the way through from beginning to end. Before I do that, I just want to talk about the C section, which is the third line down, and you may have noticed you've got a repeat there, and there's actually a second time bar and a first time bar. So what that means is you play bars 9, bars 10 and bars 11 and bars 12, so the whole of that line, then you go back and you play it for a second time, bar 9 again, bar 10 and bar 11, but instead of playing bar 12, you then skip down and you play bar 13 instead. So that's the second option. The first time you chose the first option, the second time you chose the second option, and then you carry on bars 13, 14, and then the D and E section to get to the end of the piece. So that's how the kind of geography of the piece works. Let's go from the beginning, and I'll play it through to you, and then we'll look at it line by line. Okay, so that's how it all goes, and we're going to look at it line by line, and right hand first, then left hand, and then put the two hands together. So going to the A section, it starts high on E. The rhythm here is really important, so you hold that for a minim, then run up with the quavers. Here you're rocking backwards and forwards between the E and the C. This little bit here is quite awkward because of the fingering, so what I've suggested is you do this last little bit here. So you go E, C, E, C, E, and then A, so that's what you would expect, but you're going to bring your fourth finger down onto the C, and then even though you've just played the A with the thumb, you're now going to play it with the 2, so you can reach your thumb down to the F. So watch that, this is from bar 3, E, A, F, C, A, F. And then even though you've just played the A with the second finger, you're now going to bring your thumb back up and play A again, so you're ready for the next line. Okay, I'm going to talk about the D, the C and the B at the end of that line in a minute. Just look at the beginning to there. So E, running up, watch slowly, switch there and back. Okay, and having done that, it means you're ready to basically put your fourth finger on the D and then just play the next line, as it were. So the D, the C and the B really, even though they're written on the top line, they're really part of the next phrase. If you look at the B section, you'll notice the notes are exactly the same. So you're going to do the same fingering as you did before when you played the A section. So the trick is to take those last 3 notes on the first line and connect them to the B section, so they feel like they're kind of just running through. Okay, so effectively those last three quavers are upbeats into the second phrase. And the same for the A that's right at the end of the B line. So we're not going to look at that A for the moment. You'll notice that last bar, bar 8, you've got A for 3 beats, 1, 2, 3, and then just an A tagged on the end, which sounds a bit odd by itself. That actually leads us into the next phrase, which we'll get to in a minute. So I'm going to play the whole of the A section apart from that very last note with just the right hand. Moving your fingers down, then back up, ready, carrying on as one phrase. With those different fingering kind of switches and moves, what you're trying to do is get that line sound as fluent and as smooth as you can. So the original's played on an oboe, which is a very, very smooth sounding instrument. You're trying to reproduce that effect on the piano. Okay, the left hand part moves around a fair bit. You start on A. I'm going to suggest you start on your fourth finger, just because that gives you most of the options that you need. Again, you need to be quite careful about which fingers you use. So I'm going to start with the fourth finger. Stretch up to D, these are all 2-beat notes, and then it goes straight down to A. So that's fairly straightforward, at least by itself it is. A for 2, D for 2, C for 2, B for 2, back to A for 2. Then you've got a slightly awkward shift, you're going to the E flat, so that's the black note there, and you're going to take your second finger and stretch it up. Now for me that's not too difficult because I've got quite large hands, but you might find that a little bit tricky. But you're going to play that E flat, and then you've got some crotchets, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the reason I did that and played that with my second finger was so that I can then more easily play the 1, 2, 3. So just watch that line again. A for 2, E for, and then so there's the E flat with the 2. The next line is almost exactly the same. Start as you did before. The same as the right hand, up to the E flat, again with 2, and then you're going to finish just going E, C, A, and your hand's nice in position to go 1, 3, 5. Okay, so the challenge then is trying to put those two parts together. So let's start with the hand in the right position. Okay, something to think about in terms of the timing of the left hand notes. They're regular, so they should be 1, 2, 1, 2, and your tune in the right hand should fit with those notes. Okay, so let's hear it slowly. Up to D with the left hand, down by a step. So that's how the first kind of 2 bars fit together. Just watch that again. 2 beats, then moving with quavers. This is the tricky part then, so you're going to try and you play the A quickly, and it's this. It's that C there where you're going to be playing that E flat, so that's the hardest move in the thing. So you might just practice that little corner. It's a bit fiddly that. And then your left hand carries on like that. Okay? So just watch that whole line all the way through. Then you carry on and play the same thing again. So when you do these 3 notes here, you don't need the left hand, but be ready to come back in when you hit the E. Like that. Exactly the same. Again, this tricky corner. And you arrive there as you did before, but this time instead of going, you're going to go. Okay? So the A section altogether should sound like this. The end of the A section and the B section, apart from that very last note, which we're really going to link to the C section. So the C section starts with the right hand, and it's basically a scale going up. You'll notice the notes go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, but there's a rhythm to think about, and because you've got lots of notes in a line, you're going to need to use some kind of clever fingering to get you there, otherwise you run out of notes. So the fingers I've suggested, you've just finished this part with your thumb on the A, so let's keep it there. Then you're going to go 2, 3, 4. So they're just crotchets. So, and 1. That's the C section. And then this thumb comes under to play the 1, 2, 3. And they're quicker there, the E, F, G, because they're quavers obviously. So 1, 2, and then you come back to the E. So G, F, E, and then you go higher. So you see there's a little pattern there. So this is, you've played the first 3 notes of that line. B, C, D, here's the pattern. All shifted up a step. It's called a sequence. Then it looks to do it again. And you would expect it to finish on the G, which is the pattern. But it doesn't, it finishes on an E. Okay, so just be ready for that so it doesn't catch you out. So let's listen. This is the C section, but for the first time around, I'm going to play it with the upbeat, which is the A on the line before. Here we go. And then you've got an A at the bottom of that line, which is the equivalent of the A on the line above. So you're going to bring your whole hand down again and do the same thing again. Repeat. Beginning of the C line. But this time, what I've suggested you do is you shift your fingering. So rather than going like that and ending on 2, you're going to play 4, 2, thumb, because you've got to go higher and hit that B flat. So let me just show you again. So the second time around, the fingering actually changes. The notes are the same, but the fingering changes because you've got to then go further than you did the first time. So this is the second time round with the upbeat again of the A, going A, B. Thumb under. 4, 2, thumb, which brings me up to the B flat. So this is now jumping down to the next line. Okay, so B flat, F, B flat, and then B twice, a minim each time. Okay, so that's how the whole C section goes with the right hand. The left hand is also a little bit tricky. You've just done this, E, C, A. You've had a rest. In that rest, your hand needs to move from here all the way down to here. Okay, so your next note is G, and you're going to play it with your thumb. Okay, so it's quite a big move there in the left hand, and you're going down by step. So G for 2. F for 2, E for 2, E for 2 again, but you're going to do a finger switch. So E for 2, E for 2. First time with finger 3, second time with thumb. And then you go all the way down to B, and then back to E. And notice the E is just for a single crotchet beat, not for a minim. So that mirrors what the tune does. Because the A is really the beginning of the next phrase. Okay, so just watch that again. This is the C section. I'm going to play it now for the second time. So G, F, E, finger switch, D, C. Now jump to bar 13. The second time option, you go back to D, and then F and E. Okay? So it's a little bit different there. And the first time you just go down to B and then E. Second time you've got some D's, F, E. So they both finish on E, but other than that they're quite different. So together those two parts, we're going to do it really slowly because it's quite tricky, this corner. So you can start with your thumb on G and your thumb on A. And remember this A is the note before. So the line starts with the B, but we're going to play the upbeat, which is the A. And the thumb in the left hand doesn't come in until the B. So it doesn't play with the upbeat. So it starts like this, A, together, okay? Thumb under, finger switch in the left hand, keep going. So that was C with the first option. Now you move back to the A and do it all again. Move this hand up. Thumb under in the right hand, finger switch in the left hand, change your fingers in the right hand, 4, 2, thumb, then the second option bar 30, B flat, and then That's the second time option all the way up to D. So that's how the C section goes. That was kind of quite slow. I'm just going to play it for you once more, but a little bit more up to speed. Again, starting with the A at the end of line 2, and then bringing in the G when I start the next line. Here we go. Okay, so that's quite tricky there. You're going to have to work on that quite slowly, break it hands kind of separately, do it together, do it in small chunks. Then we're going to go on to the D and E section. The good news here is these are exactly the same in terms of the notes and the rhythms as the A and B section. The only difference is I've marked this as fortissimo in your score. So if you listen to the original piece, at this point you've got the full orchestra playing. It starts with just an oboe and a quiet accompaniment of harp and some strings. Here you've got the full orchestra playing, so this is the D section. You've just done this. I'm going to play the second time option, or the second time bar again from bar 13. And both hands need to shift inwards by quite a way, so they're both moving back to their original position, which is quite a significant move in both cases inwards. So here we go. You've done this before, but now you're playing it loud. Remember the 2 on the E flat, and then getting quieter. That's what dim means, diminuendo. A bit more wistful at the end. And off together. Okay, so that's how the D and E section go. Not a lot of work to do there because the notes and the rhythm are the same, but obviously you might want to think about how you characterise them. The dynamics are different, and you might want to do a bit of a tailing off or a slowing down at the end. So let me play it all through for you once more. So get the hands in the original position, little finger on the E, fourth finger on the A, off we go. Nice and quiet to start with. So that was the level 3 version of Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it helpful. If you have, then please hit the subscribe button below, as there's new pieces for you to learn coming out all the time. And remember, the music for all of them is free to download from the website pianoplayerpro.com. If you've got any questions or requests for future pieces, then please do get in touch via the comments section. Have a great day then, and happy practicing.